Hey everybody, Johnny Klimax here. Welcome to another episode of Klimax's Collector's Closet. I am the host, Johnny Klimax, and this is my second episode. So sit back, relax, subscribe below, and let's have a good time. Alright, welcome back. So today, again, I have a couple scores that I have found recently throughout the Chicagoland area. That's where I am located at. And it varies from Xbox to NES and also Super NES, a little bit of Xbox 360, Sega stuff too as well. Kind of recapping on the last episode, I started collecting for the OG Xbox. I plan on getting a complete set. And I forgot to mention the last haul, it was just around $50 with the Xbox in-box. So that said, it's a very cheap system to collect for, hence why I'm doing it, hence why I'm suggesting it for you guys and showing you guys some pretty cool games and some not so cool games, but like I said, it's a necessity. I have a couple controllers, first off, that I found. This one I found at a local bookstore. It is a Street Fighter 15th Anniversary PlayStation controller. It is super cool. It's very good for gaming. It's got Chun-Li, who is like my all-time favorite Street Fighter character. I love playing her. She is a pretty badass character. If you guys haven't played Street Fighter, if you think otherwise, well, you're just wrong. But cool controller. I will open this up so you guys could kind of see it. But it's super cool for gaming. Especially like fighting games, in comparison to the PlayStation controller as is. I find this a lot better. That said, this one does not leave the box. The other controller find I found was a Nintendo Advantage Power Stick. So as you can see here, it's got the joystick, it's got turbo mode, it slows it down, and you have player 1 and player 2. So as you can see, it has like two connections. It goes into both ports of the NES. It's actually going to be very useful if you're playing like games like Gradius or any other kind of like side-scroller shoot 'em ups and all that good stuff. So very cool little find. Found it at a flea market and paid a couple bucks for it. So Super Nintendo games, one Super Famicom game. We know him as Mega Man. In Japan, he is Rockman. So this is Rockman 7. I have a Super Nintendo that, very easily modified to play Super Famicom games. So if you are looking not to spend, a lot of money on the Mega Man collection here, these are relatively cheaper. So highly recommend picking these up. I can show you a video how to modify the Super Nintendo. So moving on, I picked up the Jungle book at the flea market too. Just a cool childhood game, not as cool as like Aladdin for Sega, but still cool enough. Very difficult too. Mortal Kombat 3, because who doesn't like Mortal Kombat? And one of my all-time favorite games, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This is an absolutely must-own if you are a Super NES collector, or if you are just like an average gamer. This game is freaking phenomenal. A lot of fun, super difficult, and the music is fantastic. Even though it loops over and over, it's still amazing. And another classic game, this is the Link to the Past. If you guys are familiar with the Zelda franchise, which if you've been living under a rock, I am sure you have. This is a great game. One of the best Zelda games, I think, of the franchise. It is probably one of my favorites next to Twilight Princess. So moving along, getting into the Sega Dreamcast games, I have two Japanese versions of Marvel vs. Capcom, and the better of the two games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you like fighting games, these are must-owns. These are freaking awesome. And if you don't like fighting games and you're just like a superhero nut, just get it because you have like the X-Men and Spider-Man, and it's just freaking cool. So nerd out to this. It's awesome. If you have a Dreamcast, you will need a boot disc or it to be modified to play this game if you have a American Dreamcast. If not, they do make these games, for the United States, but they cost a lot more money. So that said, I went the cheaper route with these. They do the same thing. There's not that much Japanese in there. You can navigate through the menus pretty easy. Moving along, got a few Xbox 360 games. The Dead Space games. I have not played these games when they came out. I decided to pick them up and try it. Super fun games, as I found out. Should have picked them up when they came out. Another game too is the Shattered Dimensions. I know the PS4 version just came out for Spider-Man, which is a fucking awesome game. But this game is freaking amazing too. So give it a shot. If you could break away from the Spidey game on the PS4. And I'm sorry for you Xbox One guys, but you don't get a Spider-Man game. It sucks, but it is what it is. Moving along to some Sega Saturn games. This is the original launch for Tomb Raider. It was originally only supposed to be on the Sega Saturn. One of my first games I got for the Sega Saturn when I was younger. Totally cool game, pick it up. Not uncommon, very cheap. As I said, I'm into mechs. This Mech Warrior game is Mech Warrior 2. Fun game. It's not as fun as I remember, but it is still a fun game. Mech Warrior Mercenaries for the PC is a much better choice if you have a old enough PC or an emulator of that game. I suggest you try that one out. Moving along, this is Nights into Dreams. This is the replacement for Sonic, essentially, for the Sega Saturn. This is the not-for-sale retail version. It comes with a 3D controller, which I do have. So if you're not familiar with this game is super fun. Check it out. And now getting into the Xbox games for the OG Xbox, that is. Went to a couple thrift stores, found some pretty good stuff, and a lot of not so good stuff. So I'm going to start you off with all the multiple sports games that you find on the shelf, including another Matt Hastings. This is the Tournament Edition. And this one, though, Doom 3, it is a very cool variation of Doom. So, cool score in the middle of the sports games. So, check this game out. Dance Dance Revolution. I hate these games, but here you go. Another cool game. I loved it for the 64. I'm going to love it for this, I'm assuming. Sarge's Wars. Check this game out. I will let you know if it's any good if you guys haven't played that too. Another sports game. Yay. A really cool game I heard a lot about. I have admittedly not played any of them, but Half-Life. This is Half-Life 2, that is. Can't wait to give this one a shot after I'm done beating Spidey at 100% and some of the DLC that's coming out. So, cool game. Gonna check it out. Maybe play it on the side too, even. More sports games. Another sports game. Another sports game. Trivia game. And one of my favorite series. I love the Splinter Cell games. So, I know Tom Clancy games are a dime a dozen, but it's still a fun franchise nonetheless. Pick them up. They're fun. And to top it off, I have 3 more sports games. So as you can see, with the OG Xbox, I did not have the greatest scores, plus I spent all my money on this other cool shit. For the other systems, like I said, I would not do, but I couldn't resist to show you guys, and like I said, I got some pretty cool deals at them. The thrift stores around here and the flea markets, super cool, and really good buys sometimes. This is my haul this is November, and I hope you guys like it. I am the guy in the beanbag couch, Johnny Klimax, and if you guys really like what you see, subscribe below.